Hello everyone, and welcome to this great new video of mine called Storytime, or Story Stuff, or Story Dice, or, ooh, I know, Let's Make a Story with adruber. Anyway, whatever I will decide to call this, welcome! We are going to make a story. What else? With these beautiful story cubes. They're gorgeous. They're amazing. It's a beautiful box. You just open it up. Oh, they're all right there. Amazing. Now, this story we're going to pre-decide what it's going to be about. This story is going to be about a star that has come to Earth in the form of a human. Not sure where all the story's gonna go, but that's where the story dice come in. So, we're gonna open this pack up, and we're going to pull out 3 random story dice. 3 of them. Just 3. Don't need that anymore. And we're gonna give these 3 story dice a roll, and this will determine the greatness and the vastness that is the story. Here we go. Rolling the dice. Ooh, I love it. Pyramid, house, and a little magnifying glass. We got these 3 beautiful things. I'm going to set this to the side. And I'm going to actually turn these towards me so I can see them and make sure I work all 3 of them into this gorgeous, beautiful story that I'm about to weave and about to tell you. Once upon a time, in the land of ancient Egypt, there was a sorcerer. And the sorcerer wanted to pull the stars down from the heavens so that he could sell them for great cash and money and all the riches of the world. Yes, that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to sell the stars. So, he started to work up this great incantation. And he's chanting and throwing things into the fire, and there's like green smoke and blue smoke, purple smoke, and all different colors. There's like a rainbow of smoke coming out of this fire. And this star fell from the sky. But because stars are so far away, it took thousands and thousands of years until it actually crashed down to the ground. So the sorcerer was like, well, this doesn't work, and he gave up. And later on he died because, spoiler alert, everybody dies. Sorry. It's morbid. Now we cut to the 21st century, where there is a man, and he's just bought himself his brand new house, and he's just moved in. He's living the American dream. He's making it happen, doing all the do's. And one night he hears this loud crashing noise that's coming from his backyard, and so he's wondering, what on earth could this be? I wonder, is it that stupid dog that's been coming to my backyard all this time? This is ridiculous. So he goes outside to look and see what's what, and when he goes out there, he finds a beautiful young woman dressed in all white, seemingly glowing, and a crater in his backyard. And he is obviously a little perplexed by this, as would anyone be if you would walk outside and a crater, and inside that crater there's a beautiful young woman dressed in white, glowing-ish. And so he's all like, I wonder what this is. I truly do. I wonder. He's like, hello, hi, my name's Mark. Who are you? I want to know who you are. And of course, she's like, well, I'm a star. And he's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Have I seen you in anything before? And she's like, no, I'm a star, like from the heavens. He's like, wait, so you're an angel? She's like, no, I'm not an angel, I'm a star. I fell from the heavens 1,000 years ago. And he's like, why have you only crash landed on Earth now then if you fell 1,000 years ago? And she's like, well, obviously, the Earth is much further away from the stars and what they appear in the night sky and all their twinkliness. He's like, oh, that makes sense. So he invites her in, because that's the courteous thing to do. And he's like, are you hungry? Because you've been falling for thousands of years, apparently. And she's like, no, stars don't eat. Especially this nasty human food. Ew. He's like, okay. Well, that's cool. And then she's like, listen, dude, I am going to need to find this sorcerer that pulled me down from the heavens, so that I can go back up there, because I really liked being a star, and I don't like it as much here on Earth. And the guy's like, well, if there was a sorcerer thousands of years ago that pulled you down from the sky, more than likely he is dead. He is no longer living. He's like, well, we have to try. We have to find him. And he's like, okay, you can try to find him. She's like, I need your help, please. And he's like, oh, listen, I'm living the American dream here. I got my own place. I got my job that I gotta go and work at and things. Listen, woman, I can't just drop everything and help you find this dead guy. And she's like, well, that's it then. I'm stuck, trapped here on Earth. This is sad. He's like, you know, maybe if you had some reward for me to give to me. Do you have like money? Could you pay me to help you? And she's like, no, I just crash landed on Earth. Why would I have money? It's like, okay. You know what, I'll do it anyway, because you're cute. And she just like stares at him like, what the? And then she's like, okay, you're gonna help me? Great. So, they embark on this mediocre quest. It's not really all that epic, to find this dead guy. And so, obviously, it leads them back over to Egypt, and they're searching around for this dead sorcerer. And the guy's like, so what are we gonna do if we find this guy? And she's like, I'm gonna ask him to put me back up into the sky. And he's like, well, what are we gonna do if we find the guy and he's dead? And she's like, you're gonna raise him from the dead, and then I'm going to ask him to put me back up into the sky. And the guy was like, yeah, no, that's not happening. Sorry, I can't raise people from the dead. I'm not a god. I'm just a normal human being. Sorry. So they keep looking, and they finally find him in like a tomb somewhere, and they pull out his mummified corpse, and they realize she realizes, oh no, he's dead. So she turns to the guy, Mark. She turns to Mark, and Mark's like, hey, you know what? We have not named you. We should give you a name instead of just calling you her. Abigail is what we'll name her, possibly. No. So we got Mark and Abigail. Okay. I dig it. Alright, here we go. So, Abigail turns to Mark and she's like, hi, listen, can you raise him from the dead now? Because I really gotta get back up in the sky. And Mark's all like, psh, that ain't happening, because I'm immortal, obviously. Remember? We talked about this earlier. I can't. I don't raise people from the dead. And she's all like, oh, please, you have to. And he's like, no, it's physically impossible. I don't know. Maybe you could come back to the States with me, and maybe we could start a family or something. And she's like, oh, no. No, you don't want to do that because, I'm a star. And if we made love to each other and had babies, they'd be like demigods. And he's like, I want a demigod for a child. He's like, that'd be awesome. It's like, let's make love right now. Let's have a demigod child. And she's like, no, that's not happening. I want to go back up into the sky, raise this man from the dead. And so Mark's like, you know what? That's it. I'm out of here. Can't raise him from the dead. I helped you find the guy. You're welcome, by the way. Feel like you should have said thank you for that, but I'm out of here. And so he leaves. And so Abigail tries to raise this sorcerer dude from the dead, and she's slapping him all over. Like, wake up, you! Wake up! Wake up! And obviously the guy won't wake up because he's dead. So finally, it starts to dawn on Abigail that she is actually trapped here on Earth, and she cannot go back up into the heavens. So she figures, as long as she's trapped here on Earth, she might as well make some demigod children and have them rule over the world. And so she leaves and goes back to find Mark. So Mark has returned home and realized that he's got fired from his old job. So he's searching, trying to find another job. He has to pick up a job at the local fast food joint. Not happy, but he's making money again. And he went on this adventure, so win-win. And then he's home one night. He's watching his favorite television show, Columbo, and then there's a knock on the door. And so he goes over there, and it's Abigail, and she's like, I'm sorry, I should not have said those things to you. Thank you for helping me find the sorcerer. You're right, I can't just raise him from the dead. Maybe I could stay with you because you're like the only person I know. Also, maybe we could make love and have some demigod children. And he's like, dude, that'd be totally awesome. I'm down with that. So they do, and they devise this plan to take over the world with their demigod children. And everyone lived happily ever after. At least Mark and Abigail did. They became tyrannical overlords of the earth later in the year 2049. And yeah, that's the end of the story. There you go. The end. Guess that's it. Cool.